on earth is this? Oh, Miss Bennett. Birdsworth, of course. This is your work, isn't it?
I don't know what you mean.
This muck, it smells revolting.
Oh, rat must have died in there.
It's some sort of alcoholic brew. It's...
Hold your
Birdsworth, on your feet.
Oh, Lizzie, are you all right?
Of course she is. She's just pretended to faint.
Oh, Lizzie, stop playing funny buggers.
On your feet, Birdsworth.
Lizzie?
She's only doing this to avoid punishment.
It's a heart.
Rubbish. She's tried this trick once too often.
Well, this time it's for real. Just stand there, shut up, go and get some help. She's having a heart attack, Vera.
Her lips are turning blue. Do something.
Stokes, find another officer. Tell her to get an ambulance. Quickly! Move!
Hang on, Lizzie, hang on. We're getting help.
She's dead.
Out of my way, both of you.
Is there any pulse?
Is she going to be all right, Miss Bennett?
It's hard to tell, but at least there's a pulse.
Oh, you'll make it, Lizzie, you'll make it.
Well, I can't deny I'm glad to see the back of Stuart Gillespie.
I can imagine you are. Thank you. Of course, you realise the department will have to carry out some sort of follow-up. Well, Gillespie put through some very damning reports.
Oh, yes, I'm sure he did. So I'm still going to have his shadow hanging over my shoulder, am I?
We can't sweep it all under the carpet. But, of course, in the meantime, you can feel free to carry on as you did before.
You know, I wish that some of those academics with their fine theories of how to run prisons could know what we have to put up with. Oh, excuse me. Erica Davidson? Birdsworth? Well, how bad is she? I see. Did they say how long the ambulance would be? Yes, well, thank you, Wendy. You see, that's the sort of thing I mean. One of our women, Lizzie Birdsworth, you know her, has just had a very severe heart attack. They've given her first aid, and the ambulance is on the way. But I better go and see how they're getting on.
Well, look, is it all in hand?
Well, yes, I gather so.
Well, before you go, I'd like to tell you about my meeting with the secretary.
Oh, yes, how did you get on?
Well, briefly, they're going to establish an education facility here.
Oh, Ted, that's wonderful. I've often recommended it myself in the past, but they've never acted upon it. How soon can it begin?
Oh, pretty soon, I should imagine. It's only a matter of tying up a few loose ends. It'll be run by the education department and staffed by a trained teacher. So I don't think it'll add to any of your pressures. Well, in fact, I think it should relieve some of them.
Oh, I'm sure it will if the women take an interest in learning. Well, your news has certainly cheered me up.
Good to have some good news for a change, eh?
Yes. It will be a relief to know I'm running my own ship again, too. Even if the department is looking over my shoulder. How is she?
Oh, it's hard to say. I just hope those ambulance men can do something for her immediately.
I believe you acted very quickly, Miss Bennett.
Oh, I did what I could.
I'll be in touch, Erica.
Yes, Ted. Thank you for all your support.
I hope Birdsworth will be all right.
Oh, so do I.
Sounds like you did a good job, Miss Bennett. Congratulations. I won't hold you up.
What exactly happened?
I was passing the door of the recreation room when I smelt something strange. I went in to see what it was, and I found a bucket of some sort of homemade brew. Obviously highly alcoholic. The smell was disgusting.
Birdsworth's handiwork.
Yes, I'd say so. She came rushing in, trying to distract me. And then she collapsed. Of course, at first I thought it was just her usual act.
Well, it's understandable you'd think that. Lizzie's cried wolf so often in the past.
Yes, but then I saw how white she was. Well, her lips started to turn blue. I knew she wasn't faking that.
No.
She had no pulse, and she'd stopped breathing. She was dead, Mrs. Davidson. So I applied the external heart massage.
You probably saved Lizzie's life.
Yes, I hope so. But I intend to find out how they made that brew and who was responsible.
Well, I think you'd better get rid of it first.
Yes, I'll do that immediately. And then I'll start a thorough investigation. These women have got to learn that they can't get away with that sort of thing.
Wendy, would you ask Sister Franklin to contact the Wentworth Hospital and give them all the details on Lizzie Birdsworth, and let me know if there's any news?
Yes, I will, Mrs. Davidson.
She still looked pretty awful, Bea.
Yeah. Well, she certainly isn't going to be doing any tap dancing routines for a while, that's for sure. Must be something on telly. Unless it'll take our minds off it. Oh, damn, I forgot it wasn't working. Can't we do something about getting it fixed, Bea? Oh, I'll speak to Mrs. Davidson about it sometime.
I don't know why I didn't think of mouth to mouth. I did it with Chrissy's baby. I just sat there and let Vera do the lot.
Shut up about it, can't you, Doreen?
Well, I was only...
Yeah, well, don't. You're only making us all feel worse.
Well, what else is there to think about?
I'll give you something to think about.
Poured the lot down the loo.
All right, where is it?
Don't know what you're talking about, Vera, so why don't you just give it a miss?
And let you get away with it.
After what happened to Lizzie, I don't think we're getting away with anything.
That's right. And what you did for Lizzie was pretty good, Miss Bennett.
Yeah, it was. Real good.
Well, don't think that you can sidetrack me like that, because I know there was some sort of alcoholic brew in that cupboard, and I intend to find out who made it and how.
Well, that's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it? Seems to me your evidence is missing. And I didn't see any brew in there, did you, girls?
No.
You always pride yourself on knowing what's going on, Smith. So no doubt you knew all about this. So you can just come along and tell the governor.
What now? It's wreck time.
On your feet. If I say you come to the governor, you come. Now move.
Oh, for crying out loud.
God, we could get into real strife because of that booze.
So what? I'm too worried about Lizzie.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
All evidence of Birdsworth's home brew has disappeared, but I'm sure Smith knows all about it, so I've got her outside.
Good. Bring her in.
Inside, Smith.
Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Any news about Lizzie, Mrs. Davidson?
No, not yet. Miss Bennett tells me that the collapse was brought on by overexertion.
Yeah, you could say that, I suppose.
Trying to protect her home brew.
Look, Mrs. Davidson, it was just a lark, no real harm in it. Just something Lizzie cooked up on her own. No one else had anything to do with it.
I see. Miss Bennett says the brew's disappeared. Where is it?
It's been flushed down the loo. I'm getting it to you straight, Mrs. Davidson. I'm not trying to put one over you. Seeing what happened to Lizzie knocked the stuffing out of me a bit.
Very well, Smith. Under the circumstances, I don't see the necessity for taking this any further. But if there are any more attempts at making home brew, there will be severe punishments. Please make the women aware of that.
Yeah, I will.
I don't know why you didn't tell Miss Bennett the truth in the first place. After all, she probably saved Lizzie's life.
Yeah, you're right. She moved really quickly and knew what to do. None of us would have.
Miss Bennett is a good officer. A strict one, I know, but a good one. I think it's time the women change their attitude about her, don't you?
It'll be a bit hard, Mrs. Davidson, but we'll try. But only for Miss Bennett. Not that other ratbag.
If you are referring to Mr. Gillespie...
I thought you recognised the description.
He is no longer with us.
You mean he's left?
That is correct.
That's the first decent thing that's happened all day.
All right, Smith, you may go.
Oh, there's one other thing, Mrs. Davidson. The telly's on the blink. Any chance of getting it fixed?
Well, that could be rather difficult. You see, after the pantomime, there wasn't any money left in the recreation fund.
Well, how about if we chip in from our earnings?
Well, yes, I could get a repairman then, if the other women are happy about that.
Oh, they will be. They missed their telly. And it'll give us something to take our minds off Lizzie. Thanks again, Mrs. Davidson.
those buggers would let us know how Lizzie's getting on.
Maybe they don't even know themselves.
Yeah, Vinegar Tits wouldn't tell us even if she did.
Look, girls, I promised Mrs. Davidson that we'd try and be a bit nicer to Vera for what she did for Lizzie.
Yeah, I suppose we have to.
Hear that, girls? It has been nice to Vera a week.
Kind of sticking our throats a bit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll make the effort.
Wish I was out with Judy. Lucky bugger.
Yeah, she really seems to have given them the slip this time, doesn't she?
Yeah, no word of her at all in the paper this morning, which means they've got no clues as to where she is.
Might be out of the country by now.
Yeah, on my money. Oh, well. Good luck to them. Not that I care.
You're really going to miss that money when you get out there, Doreen.
I'll manage. I wouldn't have known what to do with it anyway.
All right, girls.
Morning, Miss Bennett.
Morning. Why aren't you working, Smith?
Sorry, Miss Bennett.
Mrs. Davidson has asked me to tell you that Birdsworth is as well as can be expected.
That tells us a lot.
Isn't it always the same with hospitals, Miss Bennett? They just never tell you nothing.
No.
Do you know if anybody's done anything about getting the telly fixed, Miss Bennett?
No, I don't. And if I had my way, you'd have no television, radio, or newspapers.
But then we wouldn't know what was going on the outside, Miss Bennett.
That should be part of your punishment. In my opinion, you have far too many privileges.
Well, you are entitled to your opinion, Miss Bennett.
And don't think that you can get around me with all these Miss Bennets. I'm a wake up to the lot of you.
You know, I don't think Vera liked us being nice to her. Really rattled her. Biggest favour we could do for her is to go back to being normal. I think old Vinegar likes it that way.
No doubt you all know by now that Mr. Gillespie is no longer with us.
That's a relief.
I agree he was a hard man to get on with, but I think we should stick to the regulations he brought in.
Well, I don't.
No, neither do I. It just made more work for all of us.
What do you think, Mr. Fletcher?
Well, I think he was inclined to take things to extremes.
Well, I'm glad the majority of you feel that way because it's my intention to return to the old security methods.
Good.
The interior security gates will be kept unlocked again during the day, and armed guard duty is cancelled.
Thank heavens for that. Felt ridiculous wandering around with that rifle.
You wouldn't if you'd learned to use it properly.
Well, I couldn't shoot anyone anyway, so what's the point?
Exactly.
If I may continue, Mr. Fletcher will be in charge of maintaining the armory, but no weapons are to be issued without my explicit instructions. It will no longer be necessary for you to move in pairs, so that means new rosters will have to be drawn up. All right, Mr. Fletcher?
Yes, I suppose so. It might take me a little while to draw up a new roster, though.
Believe it or not, there is even more good news. An education facility is to be provided for the women and a trained teacher, so that it won't interfere with your normal duties. Something that should have been done some time ago, don't you think?
Oh, I think it's an excellent idea. A lot of the women have had very little education.
Do you really think this lot are interested in learning anything? They'll just try and twist the whole thing to use it against us. Well, it's a waste of government money, if you ask me.
I don't think anyone was asking you, Vera.
Hey, the telly's working.
Oh, good on you. Did you have much trouble with it?
Not once I found out what it was. Have you been playing around with it?
One of us, not likely.
Well, I'd say somebody has. One of the valves had been taken out.
Oh, yeah, well, we know who that'd be, don't we, Doreen?
Yeah, bloody Gillespie.
Someone been giving you a hard time, ladies.
You could say that.
He was a real mongrel.
But we got rid of him, so it doesn't matter.
I get a feeling it'd be dangerous to cross you, ladies.
My bloody oath it would. Hey, is it going to cost much?
Well, after hearing that, I wouldn't be game to charge you too much. Now, would I?
You're a bit of an old timer for this sort of lark, aren't you? Should you be at home with your feet up, enjoying the pension?
I am retired. Just do a bit now and then to keep me hand in. Well, no good sitting around listening to your arteries harden. Gotta keep going while you can.
Too bloody right.
Well, there you are. Good as new, eh? You shouldn't have any trouble with it, but if you do, just get him to call me again. The name's Sid Humphreys.
Nice to meet you, Sid. We don't get many men in here.
20 years ago, I might have given you all a run for your money.
Yeah?
Well, I'll slow down a bit since then.
Finished, Mr. Humphrey?
No, Mrs. Powell, just slow down a bit. I'll see you next time it goes bung.
Bye, Sid.
Bye, ladies.
He was a real nice old bloke, wasn't he?
Yeah, I bet he was a real goer at his time, too. Shame we had to come back in here when he was bastard.
Oh, were you able to repair the set, Mr. Humphrey?
Oh, yes, no trouble at all. I'll send you my bill, but it won't be much. Only had to replace a valve.
Bye, Sid.
That's very kind of you.
Not at all. Listen, if there's anything else I can do around here, I'd be only too happy to help out. I'm a good handyman, but I can't earn too much, you see, because I'm on a pension, so I'll keep my charges low.
I'll certainly keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Good heavens, you have a lot of bells going off around this place.
Yes, I'm afraid so. That's the lunch bell.
Yeah, I thought I was feeling a bit peckish. Oh, better get off and have a bite to eat myself. Oh, just let Colleen know if you want me to come in for anything.
I definitely will.
Nice to have something to fill the time. Since my wife passed on, you know.
Oh, Mr. Humphrey, if you only knew what you were letting yourself in for.
Do you reckon we'll hear anything about Judy on the tally tonight?
God, no. No news is good news, I reckon.
Quiet, please. The governor wants a word with you.
I don't want to interrupt your lunch. I just want to let you know there'll be some changes made in prison regulations.
Oh, Struth, what now?
Oh, I don't think you'll be unhappy about this. Everything is reverting to the way it was. The security measures brought in recently will be relaxed.
You mean everything's going back to the way it was before Gillespie stuck his beak in?
Yes, Doreen, that's exactly what I mean.
Come on, Mrs. Birdsworth. Just give it a try. There you are. You just keep pressing the buttons till you find something you want.
Bloody rubbish.
And was rushed to Wentworth Hospital after suffering a near-fatal heart attack. Considering the circumstances I've described of her previous 20 years of imprisonment for a crime she did not commit, it seems incredible that this old and feeble woman was eventually returned to prison on lesser charges. We put forward a strong and urgent plea that immediate action be taken for her release.
Why can't they leave me alone?
From the sad case of Lizzie Birdsworth, we turn to a happier subject, the breeding of border collies.
Leave me alone. Just leave me.
Until tomorrow, this is Graham Hopkins bidding you good night.
Wow, fancy Lizzie getting all that publicity, eh?
Yeah, terrific. Oh, but maybe it isn't.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how Lizzie feels about leaving here. She wouldn't want to leave all her friends. She mightn't take kindly to somebody trying to get her released.
Oh, no, she wouldn't either. I hope she wasn't watching. It might upset her.
She wouldn't have a telly, though, would she?
Nah, probably not. Just as well. Might be just the thing to start her off again.
Oh, I know Sid's a nice old guy, Pete, but I still
nothing.
don't.
Listen, if he can get a bit of extra work, it'll help stretch his pension. Now, what have we got lined up so far?
Oh, a couple of blocked drains and a neon light to be fixed.
Yeah, well, that'll do for today. Now, tomorrow... Ah, good morning, Mrs. Morris.
Morning. Everything okay here?
Yeah, we're fine, but you don't look so hot. What's the worry?
It's Lizzie.
What is it? The last we heard, she was doing fine.
Well, she is at the moment, but that could all change very shortly when she gets back, so I thought I'd just better warn you all to be careful.
Careful of what?
Ellen has asked Lizzie to go over to America and live with them, which has lifted Lizzie's morale. Well, the trouble is, she won't get a visa because of her criminal record. Now, she's going to find out sooner or later, but until she's strong enough to take it, I suggest you all play along with her. Better still avoid the issue altogether.
How soon will she be back here?
Should be in a couple of days.
Well, we'll keep it quiet, but what about you lot?
What do you mean?
I reckon old Vera would blab in front of Lizzie just to see her collapse on the spot.
Well, don't you worry about Miss Bennett. I'll make sure she understands. There you are. Off to lunch with everybody.
Hi.
Oh, geez. Oh, Dorian, you're back early. Didn't take long.
How long does it take to say 2 years?
What, for the kidnapping?
No, the bust out. I got 3 months for the other.
Oh, hell, that's not too bad.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Davidson spoke up for me, and Chrissy was real great. She told the judge, you know, how we all shared in looking after Elizabeth and how we all thought she was our own and stuff like that, you know.
Pity we didn't get a chance to share in the fun before the kid came along.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like that sort of fun's out for me for a while, too.
Well, it could be worse.
Yeah, but I didn't mind so much when I heard that great news about Lizzie this morning.
What did you hear?
Well, that she's going to America to live with Ellen and Josie.
kid. You better prepare yourself for a shock.
Story about one of your friends in here.
Who?
Lizzie Birdsworth.
What's it say?
Nothing we don't already know, but apparently they picked it up from the television. They're going to run a campaign supporting a release.
Oh, there you go, the power of the media. Judy, please let me do this interview. Look, if it can work towards getting one of your friends a pardon, it could work towards getting changes you're looking for. Huh? So what do you say? Judy, please, the time's right. You'll never get another chance like this.
No, love, look, I've got to find another way.
Oh, yeah, when?
I don't know.
Well, I do, never. You'll never get another chance like this one.
You know how I feel about this, Judy?
Yeah, but you won't prevent it, though, will you? You can't. Because that would make a mockery out of everything you've ever taught me.
No, Mickey, I won't prevent it, but I won't support it either. It's your life, it's your decision.
Wait a minute. What if we posted the cassette to the television station? That way it could be made anywhere by anyone. I mean, they could never trace it. You can buy those cassettes at any department store.
Oh, yeah, you can, but... No, that'd be too dangerous. The tape could fall into the wrong hands. It has to be delivered personally to Graham Hopkins.
Well, that means you.
Yeah, well, there's no one else.
Okay, all right. So you take the cassette to Hopkins, you give it to him personally, you don't say a word to anyone else, and then just get the hell out of there, huh?
Yeah, all right. Right. Oh, Dad, can I borrow the ute? That way I can hire a portable television set for tonight. We've got to keep abreast of what they're saying about us.
The keys are in the ignition.
Great, okay.
Now, hang on a minute, honey. Why don't you just go and get the television set? In the meantime, I'll put some words down on paper. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right.
Yes, of course. All right.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Right. Well, I'll see you later then.
Good.
So, what happens to Lizzie Birdsworth now? The latest news from the hospital is that she's making a fair recovery and should be discharged from the cardiac ward within the next day or so. From there, Lizzie will be transferred back to the grim confines of the Wentworth Detention Centre, which itself has been the centre of some controversy over recent days.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We'll keep you posted on events as they develop. And now, on a less serious note, we have a story...
That hasn't left the door wide open for us. You got your speech ready?
Ready.
All right. Let's get going.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning,
Good
Mrs.
morning.
Davidson.
I think we should have quite a short meeting this morning. Now then, let's see what's on the agenda.
Before we start, we've had a message through from the department. They've approved the appointment of Sid Humphrey as general handyman.
Oh, be quick off the mark, weren't they?
Yes, for a change.
Yes, well now, this is the diet chart. Lizzie will be back with us later today, and Dr. Marsden wants her to vary her eating habits a little. Would you see the cook gets that? And if she does have any objections, which I have no doubt she will, refer her to me.
How is she?
Amazingly well.
So she hasn't been told about the visa restrictions yet?
No, Dr. Marsden and I had a long chat about that yesterday and decided to wait until she's convalesced for a while.
She is aware of the media campaign, though, isn't she?
Oh, yes, but she's not expecting any immediate results from that. She realizes it will take time.
Well, how long?
Well, the longer the better, if you ask me.
Yes, give her time to work up her strength before we give her the bad news. Perhaps I should have said before I give her the bad news. Now then, is there any news of Judy Bryant?
No, nothing yet.
Yeah, but couldn't I speak to her personally?
No way, Mr. Hopkins. Now, we've got Judy on videotape, and she's made a statement. We want that statement to go to her as it is, no edits.
Look, just hang on a minute. What did you say your name is?
I didn't, and I'm not going to. Now, do you want the tape or don't you?
Yes, I want the tape.
And you play it as it is, no edits?
As it is. Where's the tape now?
Oh, I'll have it in a safe place.
Okay. Now, can you get it to me here at the channel?
No way, Mr. Hopkins. You'll have the police and all the rest of them waiting for me. Next thing I know, I'm the one in the hot seat.
All right. I'll meet you somewhere.
Fine. You used to play football, didn't you?
Yeah, but what's that got to do with it?
I'm just hoping you haven't forgotten how to mark, that's all. Do you know the car park in the supermarket just around the corner from you?
Yeah, I know it.
Well, I'll meet you there at 3 p.m. sharp. Come on your own, okay?
Yeah, sure, but...
Now listen, you see anyone that even looks like a cop, you clear the hell out of the place, understand?
Yeah, I'll be right. There shouldn't be too many people in the car park this time of day. If there's anybody other than Hopkins, I'll be out to spot them. You just watch me make this old ute travel.
Not too fast, eh? Now you take care of.
Okay, Mr. Hopkins, let's see you catch this one. Show it as it is tonight. I'll contact you again later.
HSW. Damn. Still, that might be enough. I might just contact you first, miss, whoever you are.
All right, so the cassette's transferred to 2-inch. Then what?
Well, then we put it to air as part of our Wentworth program.
Yeah, well, it can't be tonight. We're already locked into a full program.
Well, tomorrow night will be just fine. By then, I should have a personal interview with this Judy Bryant, and hopefully the people who are helping her.
Yeah, come on, Graham. If you know where this Judy Bryant is, you should tell the police now.
No way, Martin, no way. I tell them now, and they'll come flat-footing around here and scare them all off.
So you do know where she is?
Not exactly, but I'm working on it. And I don't want the police barging in here.
I know we have to be controversial to keep it in the ratings, but I will not go outside the law. We would get nowhere without cooperation from the police.
Martin, just let me get this interview in the can, will you, huh? Hell, the woman's been on the loose for days. Another 24 hours isn't going to make any difference.
All right. I'll give you 24 hours. Then what?
We have this tape and the interview with Bryant. That'll give us a double scoop. Then we can tell the police everything.
Okay, 24 hours. But not a minute more.
I won't let you down, Martin, I promise. Val? Val? It's Graham Hopkins. Look, that registration number I gave you, did you? Yes, I know I only gave you the prefix, but surely the fact that it's a 1963 Holden Ute order... Yeah, okay. Keep trying.
Well, how's the invalid today?
Ha! Not too much of the bloody invalid. Do you know I've walked 3 times around the garden, Savo?
Geez, next thing you know, you'll be competing in the next Olympic Games.
Yeah, I'll be in America by then. Do you reckon that'll make me a Yankee?
Yeah. Oh, I see you got the fresh fruit.
Yeah. Who sent that in? There was just a note saying, to Lizzie with love, and no name, no nothing.
Oh, well, we all chipped in. Mrs. Davidson fixed it for old Sid to go and buy it for us.
Oh, thanks. Who's Sid?
Oh, an old fellow that came and fixed the telly while you're away. Nice old bloke, and we've arranged things so he can be around a bit more often.
How?
Oh, a bit of harmless sabotage, you know?
You can't call sabotage harmless, Doreen. Anyway, I think sabotage is the wrong word.
Well, what would you call it then?
Oh, I don't know. How about breakdown assistance?
Yeah.
Just making sure that a few things that are bound to go wrong sooner or later are...
Yeah, and we're speeding things up a bit. Want to be in it?
Oh, yeah. I'll go troppo just sitting here on me own. Besides, it'll give me a bit of a chance to have a go at the screws before my release comes through.
Yeah, well, look, this is what we've got up to so far.
And that all 3 are believed to be the work of the same person, as the identical means of starting the fire, petrol-soaked rags in the storeroom, was
What
used
time
on
is
each
it?
occasion.
Nearly 50:30.
Yeah, well, see, the bastard's not going to show it. I mean, this program's almost over. The cassette I sent in is more than 5 minutes.
I said I had to go to her tonight.
Well, maybe the police got hold of it, huh? I mean, they might have set up an injunction. I did lay into the administration a bit.
No, I think he's still got the tape. He's just not playing it for some reason.
Well, how can you be sure?
Well, if there was an official ban on it going to air, he would have said something about it.
Remains for me to do.
What's he trying to do?
Couple of nights. Before I go, I've just been handed a message advising that Lizzie Birdsworth, our heartbreak inmate, has been returned to the Wentworth Detention Centre. Lizzie, if you're watching, God bless you. You keep your chin up. There are a lot of people working on your behalf. So from me again, it's Graham Hopkins wishing you a good night.
Well, that's it then.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, incidentally, Lizzie Birdsworth has been sent back to prison. End of story, end of campaign.
Oh, no, it isn't. He's got the tape. I think I know why he didn't show it.
Why?
Oh, when I spoke to him, he tried to pry me from a name and address. He wanted to come out personally and interview us. He's after an interview with him firing the questions, and he's not going to show the tape unless he gets it.
Well, he's already got
Judy,
the
he's not going
cassette.
to show it.
Well, I'm not going to do an interview. That would be too dangerous.
Nice of Mr. Hopkins to tell us you're back with us, Lizzie.
Oh, don't knock him, B. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, for himself from the television station he works for. Anyway, that show is over for tonight, and now on with the real entertainment. Hey, Mouse, did you get all that stuff I asked you to get from the kitchen, rubber gloves and what have you?
Yeah. Do you want him now?
Yeah, gimme.
What you gonna do, B?
We are going to drum up a little extra trade for our old friend Sid.
Oh, that's the sabotage.
Now, I thought we decided not to use that word. No, not in here. The ceiling's too high in the storeroom. Hey, May, keep knit, will you? Oh, God, you could have folded it.
Well, I suppose I could have, but I still...
Never mind, never mind. Doreen, stand by the switch, will you?
What are you gonna do, B?
Well, give her time to build up some strength. The woman's likely to have a heart attack on the spot, and this time she mightn't recover.
Precisely. And whose fault would that be? If it was up to me, I would never have led her on like this. The moment that letter came in, I would have told her not to build up her hopes.
Well, what about her recovery? Now, you can't deny that the thought of starting a new life again in America helped her enormously.
So now she's recovered. Someone has to tell her the truth, even if they run the risk of causing a relapse. She's 72 years of age. How much strength do you think she's going to build up? Oh, at least if we'd been honest with her from the outset, she would have had the benefit of the best medical attention. It was there, on hand. Now she's not only been taken out of intensive care, she's been discharged from the hospital altogether.
All right, Vera, you've made your point. Unfortunately, when these things happen, you can't always... What the hell?
What's that?
Main fuse must have gone. Hello, Colleen. Yes, the same thing's happened here. Has your emergency lighting come on yet? Good. Look, could you ask all the officers to report to their stations and get all the women locked away into their cells? We can't have them wandering around this half-light. Right, good.
Better take these in case the backup goes on us as well.
This moonlight's having a bad effect on Vera.
All right, quieten down, you lot. The main fuse is blown, that's all. We're going to have to stay on emergency lighting until it's fixed. In the meantime, we'll have to get to yourselves. No arguments. Now, come on, get them moving when you ask the bathroom. Shut up,
You fix the main fuse, Mr. Fletcher.
No, I can't.
We'll have to get Sid to fix it.
Sid will fix it in the morning when he comes in.
You called him already?
No, I haven't, but he'll be here in the morning anyway.
How come if you haven't called him?
Because he was appointed general handyman this morning. Now, will you get into your cells?
Oh, heck. Bloody hell. What's wrong, B?
What's wrong, she says. What's wrong? Look, I don't mind being put to bed at this time of night if it means getting Sid a bit of extra work. But if he's already got the job, well, where's the value in that?
Yeah, the caper's gone and backfired on us.
Oh, bloody hell.
Hi.
Hi.
So why don't we take a walk and find a nice quiet spot by the river?
Okay.
Great. We'll be back for lunch a bit later. Come on.
Anyhow, after the scandal broke, Barbara killed herself. The whole town seemed to be waiting to find out what I was going to do, you know. My parents weren't much help. They'd never even met a lesbian, let alone imagine their daughter as one. So I did the only thing I could do. I got as far away from the place as I could. I went to Melbourne. That's far, eh? Anyway, it wasn't much difference here, so I just traveled around for a while, you know. Then I settled in Melbourne. I drove a cab for years. And then I met Sharon. She was something special, you know. She's only a kid, but wow. Well, everything was great for a while, and she got involved with drugs. Oh, I don't mean hard stuff, anything like that, but it was, I hated it. I warned her. I told her she'd get busted, but...
She got caught.
Oh, yeah. And that's how I got in Wentworth.
Why? Because she got caught.
Well, you see, when she got caught, she thought I was going to pay all the legal expenses, you know, the bail and everything like that, but I wouldn't. I said to her, no, this'll teach her a lesson. I thought she'd get away with it, you know, just a fine or a warning, something like that. Good behavior. I didn't know she'd get 2 years. So I decided that I'd get arrested to be with her.
Well, how'd you manage that?
I took in some drugs when I went to visit her, knowing they'd search me. Anyway, she wasn't nice anymore. She wasn't nice to me. And then she got killed by a screw.
You're joking.
I'm not. I wish I was. You know something, they couldn't prove it. He just got transferred. He's out here walking around somewhere.
God, that's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, that was 2 deaths. Then there was Leanne. She was a good kid. And then there was Irene, the one in the tunnel I told you about. I mean, they weren't lovers or anything like that. They were just my friends, and they were bloody good friends. And now they're dead. Mickey, I really appreciate everything you've done for me. I hope we'd be good friends. It's just that 4 people are dead because of me.
Come on, you can't blame yourself.
Yeah, I know, I didn't push them. But they were involved with me, and I was involved with them. I just don't want any more friends on my conscience. Okay?
Well, come on, you ladies. Didn't you hear the bell? Move. Go on, hurry.
Let's go and see what gourmet delights they've got in line for Lizzie today.
Yeah.
Hey, Lizzie. You all right, love? Come on, what's the matter?
My trip to America has been all shot to pieces. As if a body hadn't paid enough. Well, I admit I've done some bloody dreadful things in my time, but I've paid me debt to society, and now society's gone and fouled everything up. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
Oh, come on, love. How'd you find out?
Sid told me. Then I went and asked Mrs. Davids. She said the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. Look, I know it must be a hell of a shock for you, but you let this get you down, eh? You've got too much guts for that.
Yeah, and we'll help you, won't we, Bea?
Of course we will.
Yeah, you still got your mates, Lizzie.
No, I haven't. Since that bloody doctor stuck his nose in. So I'm going to get out soon, and then I won't have no one.
Doreen, come with me.
Why shouldn't we stay
I
with
said
her?
come with me.
Can you see anything? Not yet. Damn. It's a TV guy, Hopkins. He must have traced me. Cops. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that's the way we see it, Mrs. Davidson. We think if she's left on her own, it could kill her.
These are very determined people, Smith. They already have a great deal of support from the public.
You saying there's nothing you can do?
No, I will speak to Dr. Marsden. I'm sure he'll see the wisdom of leaving Lizzie where she is. His only concern is for Lizzie. However, we still have this Hopkins fellow to contend with.
Yeah, he doesn't give a damn about Lizzie.
Precisely. Lizzie is topical at the moment, as is Judy Bryant while she's still at large. I'm afraid it might be difficult to get him to forego his ratings in favour of humanitarianism.
You will have a go, though, won't you?
Yes, I will. I am aware of the problems Lizzie faces on the outside, and I shall do everything in my power to ensure that whatever happens to her in the future will be in her best interests.
Thanks again, Mrs. Davidson. We'll leave it with you, then.
Yeah, thanks.
Fine. Thank you, Miss Bennett. Judy, would you get Dr. Marsden for me, please?
God, I wish I could hear what they were saying.
Don't worry, my man's got his wits about him.
No, it's gone for enough now. I should have never involved you two in the first place. I know it. I'm giving myself up.
Don't be stupid. They wouldn't do anybody any good. They'd just put you back in Wentworth and that'd be the end of everything. Let's move a bit closer and see what they're saying.
Look, I've just been trying to explain to this killer that people always use my ute around this place here. That's why I leave the keys in the ignition, you see? I mean, it's quite simple if you think about it.
Well, you know they're going to check his background. They're going to ask him a lot of questions. They'll go right through him. It's only a matter of time. They'll find out he had a daughter, and then they'll be on to you.
Well, they can't prove that I took the tape to them.
Oh, maybe not now, they can't. But you keep fighting my battles for me, honey, and they'll find you sooner or later. I gotta fight this battle myself, Mickey.
Well, how can you manage of your own? Where are you going to go?
I don't know. Heck, I got $1,000 here. What are you talking about? I'll be all right. I'll set myself up somewhere, and you never know, huh?
Judy, I wish you'd think it over.
I have thought it over, Mickey, and my mind is made up.
Judy, please, look, we can go into the city. I've got at least a dozen friends who'll set you up, and when things settle down, we can have another try. You want to get those changes to the system, don't you?
Yes, but
Well, then?
I'm afraid not, honey. Look, I gotta go and do this myself. You've been terrific, and I really appreciate everything you've done, but it's my battle, okay? You look after yourself, here.
I wish he could again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines.